Hi, today we are on day 2 of our 3D sculpture where we are building houses or buildings. It was your choice. So in the last class, you started the drawing part. We were drawing with a pencil. Here are many of my examples that I've got going now. And you are tracing every single pencil line with a Sharpie. So if you haven't done that, that's our first goal. It doesn't matter if you use a skinny Sharpie or a fat Sharpie. You want to think about tracing every single pencil line. When you're done, you're going to move on to coloring. The quick sticks work really well for bright colors like this or white on a building. But the color sticks work awesome as well. Color sticks are the sticks in the drawers with no paper on them. They are colored pencils without wood on the outside. So a color stick, a colored pencil, twistable colored pencil looks awesome. Construction paper crayons work really well. We have a few color Sharpies left, not many. You can try those. You can use gel pens to make little tiny details. Regular pens, I want you to think about adding the details. When you're done, you're going to move on to the 3D part of the house. So for some of mine, you're going to move around the room with me here. For some of mine, I've added things like lights on the outside of my building. Okay, or maybe I want a 3D door so my door can open and close. Now in this one, I just colored the inside of my door black. So if you don't want to really be able to see in your house when you open it, you can make that black. But let's see, this one, I actually drew what I think I'm going to be able to see when I open the door. This is just a regular house. So I made the little end table and a rug and left flowers and a window. So when I open this door, you'll be able to actually see in the house. So that's something you might want to consider also when you're coloring that spot. But you're going to need to make a door if you want a 3D door or shutters or anything like that. So I'm going to take you to the paper drawer and I will show you what we're going to do. Okay, so over here next to the white cabinets on the floor, I'm going to set you down and show you what's in here. We have construction paper scraps. There are only 2 rules to using the construction paper scraps. It says put paper back in the correct color drawer and only use squares and rectangles. That's what you're going to put back. So in this cabinet, there are, let me scooch over. There you go. There are many different colors. So let's say you want a green door on your house. You will find the green drawer. Okay, you'll open it up. And there's all kinds of paper in here that might not be a square or a rectangle that teachers have given me, like a gingerbread person. This would not make sense on the outside of your house anywhere. Don't use this. This does not make sense. But things in the drawer that do make sense, let's see. We want to make a door. Okay, so scraps like this, way too small for a door. Scraps like this, way too big for a door. So you're going to want to make sure you're trying to find the size that's going to fit. That's pretty good. Okay, so what I would do is use a pair of scissors and a pencil. Grab a pencil and try to draw my door the same size. Now that might be a little tricky, but you're going to try your best. So I know that my door is about this tall. Okay, and you want to leave a little extra room. You want your door to be bigger because you're going to need a flap. Now I don't have any scissors here with me. I should have scissors to do this, but I don't. So I'm just going to use the tear method and tear this so I can quickly show you how to make a door. So I'm going to tear off my scrap. Now you can use scissors. Now I've got this scrap. It is a square or a rectangle, so I can put this back in the drawer. If I were to use scissors and cut out a funny shape, like, I don't know, parts of a flower, and I've got those little baby scraps, if they're not a square or rectangle, I will take them to the recycle bin and actually throw them away. But since this is a good scrap, I'm going to put it back in the green drawer. Then I've got the shape of my door, and notice it's bigger than the door. That's what I want because I need to make a flap so the door opens and closes. So what I'm going to do is take my door and I'm going to fold over a little edge and we'll see if this is the right size. I don't know. Let's see. My door's still a little bit bigger. So I could either use my scissors and cut off my extra. That's probably what I would really do. Or I could make my flap a little bit smaller. fold it in a little bit more. But then I would use got my little flap here. I would use my glue stick and I would glue my flap down right there. So my door is then going to open and close. Okay. Glue stick works best. You can use glue bottle, but it's really messy and we want this to dry real nice and flat. So when I'm done, I can cut off my extra little strip. If I want to add a wreath to the door or lights to my building or something like that, up here on the cabinet, I've got the beads. Some of us in second grade have already used beads for a project. I will have these out for you. You can dig through the bead bins and find what you're looking for. So if you're looking for lights, you want to think about, I don't know, maybe choosing yellow beads or clear beads. Clear or white would look good for a light. Or maybe you've got blue lights. I don't know. Maybe you want to use the beads to make like the center of a flower. You could do that as well. So when you're gluing on beads, you're actually going to need to use a real glue bottle. So the real glue bottles are here on the cabinet by the beads. And I will have them out for you. I'll grab one right here. And when you glue your beads on, I'm going to use my little door here just because I have it. When you glue your beads on, you're going to need this with the bag flat. Everything is still staying flat. We haven't opened it. So I glued my door on. I'm going to glue my beads on. So let's say I want a yellow light on the outside of my house. Maybe, where would I have a light? Maybe here and here. So all I'm going to do is find my yellow beads I want. I think I'm going to use these little baby ones. And you're going to do this flat on your desk. I'm going to put a drop of glue where I want my bead, a drop of glue where I want my bead. Place, there we go. Place my bead on top. Place my bead on top, and I got to let it dry. That's the hard part. You can't squiggle it around. You have to let it sit flat to dry. Okay. I'm going to take you. We're going to keep moving, and I'm going to show you a few more things around the room. So off we go to the other side of the room. I'll take that glue bottle with me. Okay, so over on this side of the room, we know where all our drawing materials are, and in the cabinet next door to the drawing materials, we have the rest of the stuff we might need to decorate our house. So let's see, this is our drawing materials. You can still use any of those, but next door, we've got other supplies you might need. If you need glue sticks, they are right up top. If you need scissors, they are in the next drawer. You might need scissors. This would be, oh, I left my door behind. This would be a good time to use scissors to fix my door. You might want crinkle cut scissors if you are cutting like maybe grass later on. That would probably be in the next class. Because our goal today is only to decorate the front of our house, not our base. Our base is going to be in the next class. I'll show you that in the next class. But our goal is to add things on here. If you need hole punches for adding small details. Maybe it's snowing and you want to add little snowflakes. You could get, I don't know, let me get the scrap bin here. White snowflakes. You want to put them on your house. If you don't remember how to use these, we used these back in kindergarten and first grade. Let me see if I can show you. You have to press with 2 fingers. I'm going to see if I can show you on the desk here. So your hole punch has a little slit right here. You put the paper into the slit, and it's best to use 2 thumbs to press it down. Some are really hard. Then when you pull your paper out, you have your little snowflake. So this is scrap paper that was in the recycle bin. If you've got scrap paper that's, weird shape and it's not a square or a rectangle, it's going in here. So if I wanted to make mine a snowy scene, I could be gluing on these little snowflakes all over the outside of my house. There's all kinds of unusual shapes in there. There might be things you don't need, okay? So don't use it. If you don't need it, you'll get to use these eventually, I promise. There are close signs on them now. I'll take those off. We also have larger hole punches. So we used this last year. You have to unclick it. You put your paper in the slot, boop, and you're going to get a large circle. I don't think you're going to need that for this. Maybe unless you're making a round window or something. Let's say you were somebody who wanted to add something 3D onto the outside of their building. Maybe you wanted to make a donut or a piece of pizza or whatever sticking off your building. So if you want to make something sticking off, I'm going to show you quickly how to do that on my little house, even though that's not what I'm doing for this house. So here's a piece of paper. I'm going to turn this into a piece of pizza because we're going to pretend that's what I'm going to glue on. Okay. So my weird scrap paper, I could cut this off and then put this back in the bin because that's a great piece of paper still. But scrap in the scrap bin. Here's my pretend piece of pizza. I'm going to decorate it. So I would not glue this on like this because this is really boring, but we're pretending for right now. So what I want to do to make this stick off the house and be 3D, I need a little tab that sticks out. So I need scrap paper. I've got my scraps I just stuck in the recycle bin, and I'm going to cut. And there's way more than one way to do this. It's going to be your choice, but you can do a zigzag fold. Okay, there's a zigzag. You could do one zigzag. It depends how far you want it to stick out. But I'm going to need to glue a few of these onto my piece of pizza. And I like glue sticks, so I'm going to use a glue stick. And let me turn on and I can get it open. Okay. There we go. Put you down. And what I'm going to do is glue my little zigzags on the back of my pizza. This is the back side. Let me grab a marker so you understand. Here's my pizza. Okay. I'm going to flip my pizza over to the back side, use my glue stick, and I'm going to glue down my little tabs. You're going to need more than one depending on the size. If it's something really small, you might not need, you might not need, I need a zigzag. You might only need one. Okay, so I glue these down, hold really, really well. Then you're going to put glue on the back of your little zigzag. Okay, you're going to flip it over. You're going to stick it to your roof where you want it, or your building. Hold and count to 10. And pick you back up here. And then I've got my pizza sticking off of my building. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If not, I will show you that. Now, I'm going to take that off there because I don't want this on my house. But that's how you would do it. Okay. So there's other things in the drawer you might want. Maybe, let's get you over here. You might need, I don't think you're going to need stamps, but there are many different stamps. This one says just for you. There are words, and we'll get to use these on free day next time. There's letters. There's letter M. Okay. There's stamped pads, so you can actually stamp things. I don't think you're going to need these today. There might be weird things you might want to glue to your building. If you need leaves, okay, they're little shiny leaves. There's all different kinds in here. There's like little sequins. I don't know why you would need something this shiny on your building, but you might. There's buttons, like here's a button with a car. Okay, this you would need, it's got a weird little back. I can help you, get these stuck to your building, or I can help you cut that weird little back part off, or I can help you glue it on. That's probably going to be hard. Regular buttons. Okay. Giant snowflakes, you're not going to need these. Keep this drawer as neat as you can. There's other things you might need though, like eventually when we go to do our base, if you wanted those beams for rocks in your driveway, those are in here. If you want wood to glue to the outside of your house, there's wood in there. Okay. If you want string, maybe for your, gosh, I don't know what would be string on the outside of your house, but I have it. And for your base eventually, or a wreath on the door or whatever, we got pipe cleaners. I can show you how to cut those and use those also. But today, your goal is to finish the outside of this building. That's it. In the next class, we are going to talk about the base, which goes at the bottom.